Hi again, it's Tim here with another video about being a Jean-Michel Jarre fan. And I found a real gem from my historic past of being a Jarre fan, you know. Welcome to my man cave, my garage, where I've just put some lights and a bit of curtain. That's very nice. Anyway, this is about Destination Docklands. If you're a long-standing Jarre fan, you're probably aware that there are some problems around the Docklands concert and it got postponed. At the time, I'd been awaiting a Jarre concert for 5-6 years, maybe longer, and I was such a pain in the backside. I talked about nothing else with the ups and downs of the concert. I'm very sorry to my friends at the time. I must have been such a bore. Anyway, I've been sorting out in my garage, and I found a couple pieces of writing about Destination Docklands, which I really look forward to sharing with you, you know. So this is entitled, I know it's back to front, this is entitled The Jean-Michel Jarre Concert, dated 19th of September 1988. This concert, which hasn't yet taken place, was to have been the largest concert ever, biggest live audience, best laser and firework display, and the most expensive. But most importantly, it was Jean-Michel Jarre performing, and his music that was special. He's a man who's inspired me greatly, and whom I admire in no small amount because of his fantastic music and his charismatic personality. There were inklings of Jarre doing a concert way back in 1979 in London after bringing Paris to a standstill with the first of his light and music shows in La Place de la Concorde, which had around 1 million people there. Then a couple of years later, he did his tour of China, 7 concerts in Peking, now Beijing, and Shanghai. 5 years later, in 1986, Kathy Whitmire, the mayoress of Houston, Texas, asked him to do a show to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Houston and the 25th anniversary of NASA. This show turned out to be the biggest ever in the history of the world. After this, there were even stronger rumours of a Mr. J.M. Jarre doing an extravaganza in London. Finally, in April of this year, Jarre announced that he'd be doing a show in September on the 24th in the Royal Victoria Docks, followed by an advertisement in the Evening Standard for tickets, giving the phone number to order tickets. So after many phone calls, we actually managed to get through and order 4 tickets before the internet, eh? Now, up until the 11th of September, we had heard nothing, and we hadn't received our tickets due to postal workers' decisions to stop work. And then an article in the Mail on Sunday said that Newham Borough Council were probably going to call off the concert due to safety worries. Apparently there is a small bottleneck due to traffic problems, which would prove impossible for the emergency services to navigate if there were an accident or emergency. This had been known about for at least four years prior to the concert date, and the council had given the go-ahead twice, once 18 months before and again 6 months before, and then at the end of August they started to and about, and then they said no. I felt really disappointed at this, an emptiness within. The event which I had waited for so many years was called off 12 days before the date. The person whose music I followed earnestly cut out anything in the paper about him and eagerly awaited every single album. He wasn't going to do his one-off multi-million-pound music and light show. In fact, I was heartbroken. I love this. Also, what made it worse for me is imagining how Mr. Jarre felt after investing £1 million out of his own pocket into a show. I don't know if he did that, but anyway. After having 200 technicians working day and night a month before the date, after having welded 12 barges together to make the stage floating in the middle of the docks on which to place all the musicians, to be precise, 120 strong choir, brass, and string sections, all the synthesizer and keyboard players, including the one and only Mr. Jarre himself. I bet he felt rather peeved. However, the situation isn't hopeless now. Today, Jean-Michel Jarre with his wife Charlotte Rampling are going back to New Home Council with a proposition that should help to ensure safety in a possible Docklands concert. They are suggesting that if they did do 2 concerts in the Docklands, one on the 8th and then one on the 15th of October, and possibly one on the Mersey in Liverpool after these 2, limit the audiences to 250,000 and also do a simultaneous broadcast with BBC TV and also Radio 1. This would help to keep numbers down. But even with this new, very viable idea, I still can't help feeling a little sad, as it won't be a one-off event. Instead, you'll have 2 or 3 events, which take away the uniqueness of the previously proposed concept for the concert. But never mind, it's better than no Jean-Michel Jarre concert. To be continued at a later date. So, what do you think? Were you involved with Destination Docklands? Do you have memories from waiting for the gig to happen? Let me know. If you got anything that agrees or disagrees with what I wrote at the time, do let me know. I'd like to hear your experiences. Anyway, so stay tuned. I will read you the follow-up of the concert in just a few moments' time.